Hi, everybody. I'm so excited for tonight's Zoom. Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
I mean, first, we kind of had a little bit of an interesting week. It was Joel lost his sister last Monday, so it was a little bit crazy for mindset, but I don't think you would stop. She's great and we miss her, but we know where she's at. So we will move on with that. So thank you for all of you guys saying prayers for Joel. And now we can focus on all of the good things moving forward and know that I think just as a reminder, like you guys, things are going to happen no matter what.
Mhm.
And that's just something that we can either sit and do nothing and be sad and be in that part, but that's not what God intended us to do. And that was just another reminder of like, man, we're going to always have something. And just showing you guys that we're going to show up and we're going to be the best that we can. So here we are. And it was a good week at CEO Summit. And I have two incredible guests on tonight. Actually, I don't know if Jackie's on yet. We'll have to get her. She is all set. But one of the things that we started off at CEO Summit was this, and there's a lot to cover, you guys. So we might go over our 30 minutes. But one of the things that John stated at the beginning, and I thought this is just something for all of you brand new of like where to start. So John Alcala is the CEO of It Works, and Joel and I have been with the company. It's going on 15 years, number one earners. We've hit a lot of things in this company, and we've seen a lot over 15 years, and a lot of things we've never had, and even more included in, and having to be able to move the things forward. And so he said at the beginning of this, what's it going to take for 2024 to be better than the previous year? And I just think back to when we first got started. I think the whole thing of like, if you have seen the image for what we created this Zoom tonight was called Whatever It Takes. And I remember when we got started, we were so broke, you guys. We were standing in food lines. Life was hard. We never saw each other because we were doing all of the things like working nonstop. Never seemed like we saw our daughter. We didn't see each other very often. But I was like, I'll do whatever it takes if somebody would just show me. And so, this might be being spoke to you right now. Like, I am so ready to do whatever it takes to maybe make an extra $100 this week, to maybe make $2,000 this month, to maybe it's you see a bigger vision and want more. And so I think that little snapshot right there was super impactful for me.
Guys, here's the thing. Your plan in life should always be that this next year is going to be your best year. Because when you have that mindset and you string that along year after year, that will lead to a well-lived life. I mean, if you're sitting here going, man, I hope that this year is, on par for last year and, it might be better, then we need to do a checkup from the neck up because you need to get your mindset right. And he said, what is it going to take? And my question is, what are you going to do to be better this year than next year?
Yeah. So I just want to give you guys a couple of these because when Sam and Jackie come on, I have kind of the same question and a couple different ones for each of them. Because if I were to say out of all of the company, if I could pick two people that are very similar as far as like whatever it takes, is these two. So you'll see here in a second. But one of the things that I want you guys to write down, because this is important. Now, we did sign an NDA and we can't share all of the things, although I'm really excited for a lot of you.
I can't even hint on the things.
All of the goodness is in here, but these things I'm definitely sharing with you. So I want you to write these down. Is first, if you haven't, is have a renewed vision. Vision with action changes your business. And I think that was important to have the vision. And John really laid that out for us of like, where's the company going? Like, here it is, you guys, the 30-day drop, that new product, the bonuses, like codes to get 50% off, new business kits. He's giving us everything that we need. So he has this bigger vision for what he's going to lead into in the new year. Second, renewed passion. Are you passionate more than you ever have been? And it starts with the leader, or have you lost it and you're just going through the motions? And that was super impactful for me as well.
And guys, here's the thing is complacency kills. So passion needs to start with you. You can't sit around and tell your team to get on fire. You need to be on fire so much that it becomes contagious because passion inspires. We don't get on here and we're just like, hey guys, it's Monday. I hope you have a good week. No, we are excited to breathe life in you. We are excited to share with you all the new exciting things because not only do we want you to catch fire, we want the people around you to catch fire. You should have so much passion about what you're doing that people can't help but ask what it is you're doing.
Well, and this is important for you guys to know is that you can create passion, excitement anytime, in any given moment. Like we give you permission. Today is the day. And it's all in our attitude and how we look at things. Like I said, I think at the beginning, life is going to happen and we get to make a choice of like, what are we going to do? Are we going to learn from it? Are we going to be inspired by it? Are we going to be pushed by something that could try to take us out? You've got to have the mindset of like, I'm going to do whatever it takes because there's going to be roadblocks. There's going to be things that come at you that are going to try to derail you. And that's not okay. You have to put your foot down and be like, no, I am so passionate about these products. They've gotten me healthy. They're getting me excited. I feel more energy. I'm seeing the results. Like results from flat, you guys are blowing me away. So if that's not firing you up, I don't know. Go look at the internet and search flat and 30-day drop because it's on fire. So where passion meets purpose, that is who It Works is. So that was 2. 3, renewed commitment. This is so important. You guys know that we do a Zoom every Monday night, more Zooms throughout the week. We give everything that you need, but are you committed to show up week after week after week? Like that's important. So every person that is great commits every new year, and every day you make a commitment. So that was something that was interesting to me is, do you have a commitment for what you're going to do through this year, even when it is hard and you're going to be going after these goals? You've got to stay committed when you feel like the work that you're doing doesn't feel like the reward is there, because you'll reap the rewards from doing the work.
Guys, here's the thing. Commitment is the glue that binds you to your goal. You can have goals, but if you don't put commitment to it, then it's just a dream. If you don't put commitment to it, it's just something out there that you will never get. You have to commit to taking the action to achieving the goal. If you just sit here and say that you have a goal, but you're not doing anything about it, is it really a goal, or is it something that you're just wishing?
Yeah. If you're committed, drop a 1 in the chat. We want to see if you're committed. And this right here, don't do it for the company. Do it for you. Commit to yourself. Like I see Jamie Beck on right here, right now, you guys. She had surgery Friday. She had some issues. She got home. I love you. You are the most inspiring human that I know, Jamie. I love you. If you don't know who Jamie Beck is, you need to go like follow her heart for people. She loves her team, but she loves her sidelines, and she is so committed. Like she is going to the top. Like there's no question. And so if I could point out somebody that's committed, it is her. Like those are some things are what it's going to take, is she's doing it for herself, not for the company. She's showing up for herself, showing up for her team, and the results, like the money is coming to her because of what she's doing. So I just wanted to give you a shout out. I could shout a lot of you out. She just happens to be on the front. And yes, she did have surgery and she's doing all of the things. Like I said, take a rest, but she's in it. 4, reinvention. So are you reinventing yourself? And I think a lot of you guys have seen this. Like I could go have Joel get out my 800 new Stanleys I got, because I am in the Stanley family, and people are crazy for that. But they reinvented yourself. And you may have seen this story of, they were at a point in their company where they had 75 million in sales. Once they reinvented, had some pretty colors, got some influencers to post about it, all of a sudden they went from 75 million in a year to 750 million in a year. That's a huge turnaround, because they were willing to reinvent and pivot. So if you're not getting the results from what you're doing, you've got to take the time to pivot, reinvent yourself. And that could mean he's got this
Yeah.
finger up next to me. Like, what can you do? Get some results. I'm going to tell you right now, if you get results, that's reinventing yourself. You can reinvent yourself. Maybe you don't need to lose the weight, but you slacked on being committed on taking the products. And now you can share about how good you're feeling.
Guys, if you are doing what you always have done and expecting different results, that is the definition of insanity. You need to reinvent yourself. The word is need. It's not a you should, it's you need to do something different. And the thing is when you reinvent yourself, you will become bigger, better, and more awesome version of the person that already exists. But here's the thing, if you don't reinvent yourself, you will be out. You will get left behind because things move on, things change. And if you're the one that's not changing along with the things, you will get left behind. And this is a no person left behind team. We want to bring everybody along with us.
I mean, we've had to reinvent ourselves year after year after year. Like there's no, it just, you go with what's working. You stay in your lane of what your strengths are, but that doesn't mean that you can't try and learn new things and apply those things. And here's the thing, you guys, this is a super important question. And it might be you're brand new to the company. And I'm so excited that you're on this Zoom and this may be your first Zoom. And you're like, oh my gosh, what is all of this all about? What have I got into? But just know this, that Joel and I are all in. And I think you need to decide. I'm going to ask, I should have put a 1 for this, but if you're all in, drop a 2. And that would be all 4 of those. But here's why I feel that Joel and I are all in is, do you feel called? Like me and Joel have a calling on our life. I absolutely know that we were called to It Works. I wasn't searching for network marketing. I wasn't searching for It Works. It literally flopped in our on our plate when I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I had said, I'll do whatever it takes. And here we are almost 15 years later. So there's no going back. Like we're all in. We're more excited than ever of what we heard here, what they've already announced this year, but also what's coming, you guys. Like set yourself up now. And
if you knew what I know,
Sam
you
knows and
would
Jackie
be
knows,
working harder.
like,
Just saying.
my gosh, it was exciting. I had to take a minute to process all of the things. Like, I feel like it was such a crazy week. And I'm super thankful that we have a CEO that sees so much more for us and is willing to do all of the things. So that's enough about what me and Joel had. I'll leave you with a couple things, but I really did want to have you guys hear from 2 incredible people. So first, we're going to start with Sam Bowers. And I know she's been in, always a leader and at CEO Summit. So let's welcome on. Let's see, where's Sam? If you can unmute yourself. Sam, are you on?
I am.
Yay!
I should have posted the picture of you and Jackie, because Jackie posted this like photo of you two being silly JCPenney ads or whatever you girls were doing in photos. And it was just so funny. I was like, I should just have this as the big picture, but we love to have fun. But I know you are so driven. You love to win. You love your team to win. You're willing to share all of the things. But I did ask you girls a couple of questions. And one of the things that a lot of the people that are on the Zoom tonight, we know this with the bonuses that were just announced. Maybe you're new and you're going for Emerald, a 3,000 bonus, or maybe you're going towards Diamond, that $10,000 bonus and beyond. And so think back of what you did, and maybe it's still what you're doing. When you went Diamond, did you do whatever it takes?
I absolutely did. And I will tell you guys, for me, Diamond was 2 years into my business. So a lot of you will be like, wow, really? It wasn't an immediate thing. It wasn't, 3 months, 6 months. It was 2 years. And I actually had to make a decision to go Diamond. And it was right after conference because I promoted to diamond in February. And it was that fire of bonuses are incredible. And if you're broke like me and you need money, that is the fastest way you're going to make it, is to just go for whatever is on the table. So when I heard what was coming or what we had at the time, I was like, this is going to be that life-changing thing for me. And honestly, at this point in my business, 2 years in, it's either I'm going all in, or maybe this just isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. So it took that decision for me to say, I'm going to do whatever it possibly takes. So for me, I had a couple distributors underneath me that were working. And I got with them and I was like, you know what? This is going to be a team effort here. This is not just me. And I feel that way with any promotion. Even now, me going for ambassador, like, it's a team thing. So I had to get real with them on what my goals were, and then talk about what theirs were. And we had to mesh together how we were going to come up with a plan that we could all kind of go for the same thing at the same time. Even if someone was going for ruby, someone was going for emerald, we had to figure out how we were going to make that all one big combined effort. So we got charts out. We looked at who was working, and we looked at the places on our charts that might need a little bit of pushing. Maybe you're a ruby who's got one good runner on your team, and maybe you've got 2 extra spots that are struggling a little bit. So I would make that first goal to go out and find 2 new fire distributors that are hungry and get them in those places and fire them up about these bonuses, because we all know those weekly bonuses are incredible as well. So get them on board, because all of those smaller components in a chart is what makes up the bigger picture. And that was one thing that John had said about your renewed passion, because if you're not leading your team with that passion, what are you doing? And when your team is growing, even if it's 400 boxes, even if it's executives, Joel loves his executive, even if it's rubies, when you're building those smaller components, your paycheck is ultimately growing and it's going up. So that little pieces together is going to make up that whole diamond chart.
Yeah, I love that. Like, sometimes we forget that if we just focused on one, then one more, then one more, and it adds up, rather than looking at like, oh my gosh, if I look at a diamond chart and it's 10,000 in value, you got to break it up into each piece. And so I would definitely say print off your charts. If you don't know what charts are, you need to go into your app and
They're
get
the
that
lifeblood of building your business.
chart. But we've done such a good job, you guys, of reintroducing or introducing the 30-day drop that is almost at 100 BV. So if you get 5 customers, you're a qualified box or leg that you'll hear. And those build out executives, rubies, emeralds, diamonds, all the way up. So like Sam said, really break that down. So Sam, I know you do all the things, and I think I love that. I didn't know it was 2 years into your business before diamond. I think a lot of people are shocked by that. So if you haven't gone diamond yet and you've been in a few years, it's okay. You get to decide. Again, it's just making that decision and going all in and not making excuses, or I don't have time, or I'll do it tomorrow. Like, you've got to decide even when life throws things at you. But her Facebook was shut down. Like, talk about like some crazy things that happen, but you're not just rolling over and being like, poor me. You are back in, you're building again, you're doing the things. So this is kind of a trickier question, but not, because we know you're big on TikToks and reels and stuff, but like coming in maybe brand new and you're like, okay, guys, if I really want this, it's growing that network. What would you say where you're getting customers and distributors from?
So the really cool thing about me losing my Facebook is that it's teaching me how to build on Facebook again, because I'm going on 9 years in. I don't remember what it was like to start over. Well, now I do, but I didn't remember what it was like to have to actually go out and find people to comment on posts and go out and actually like plant seeds to harvest a crop, because it got to the point where I didn't have to do that. And honestly, I'm blessed that I lost my Facebook, because it's teaching me so many things right now. When it comes to how I'm building my business, I am actually trying to regrow a brand new Facebook. And I started by going to people that I was already friends with, family, my husband. I love to stalk my husband's page and steal his friends. But I started with people that I already knew and I started adding them first. And then I would message them and I would just politely ask them, like, hey, I'm starting over on Facebook again, you know, XYZ, why it happened. Would you be interested in posting for me? Now, obviously, that's not going to work for everyone. But if you're sending out that message saying, hey, I just started a brand new business, I'm not asking you to buy anything. I'm just asking for your support and sharing a post for me. You will be surprised at how many people will be willing to do that. And if you get up a couple of posts in a day, and then you get a couple more from that post and a couple more from that post, you'll be amazed at how quickly your network will actually explode. So that's been great for me. But I also have been still working my Instagram because Instagram is where it's at. I actually am having fun over there. And by going Prez on Facebook, I knew that going ambassador was going to take a completely different skill set. So I'm starting on my Instagram. I'm still doing reels like I always did. But what I'm doing with my giveaway reels is after they share something on their Instagram, I'm asking them if they want another entry on Facebook, because these are going to be brand new people that you have not been, or they have not been exposed to you yet, or not necessarily even a host to post. So you're going to get more comments just because you're like peeling the onion layers back. So when you're asking the same people constantly to post for you, it gets old and stagnant and nobody likes that. When you get into that like core center, that's where the comments are and that's where the brand new potentials are. So start somewhere, start with new people, even if you have to go a few levels deep with people, but you want to get into that new core network.
I love that. And it's so simple. What we do, like I tell people, what we do is simple, but it's still work. Like you can't just expect it to happen if you're not willing to do these tips that the leaders are doing and sharing with you. Like there's so many people that are looking for the product, but who's the one that's actually going to post about it, share about it, ask people to share about the business opportunity or a new product that just came to market. So two things, a lot of people haven't lost their Facebook, but you guys, if you're brand new, or maybe you just even haven't started your business, you need to ask people, hey, a new product came to market. Would you mind sharing for me? I'm trying to get the word out. That means the world to me. It supports my family. And people do love to share with that. And if they don't, you need to move on and build more people into your network. So don't look at that as a bad thing. It's just like you need to keep going on and don't do like 800 messages all in 5 seconds either. You just want to be careful about that. But if you can slowly do that, host to post is still really good. Growing your network is where I feel like people may get stuck. So doing the reels, doing the posts that are not It Works related to grow attention that way is key, because I just asked, I think Carrie Cressy's on. She's like, girl, I just got 1,400 in volume in like 3 days or something. And I was like, okay, what? I need you on a Zoom this week, like in the morning. Can you share? And she's like, yeah. She's like, host a post. So sometimes we overthink because we want to hear that, like, where are you getting that?
What is your magical tip?
Yeah, it's
Post to post.
sometimes it's just the host to post. Maybe she was doing the reels, doing the interaction post, not giving up. Again, we have that perfect market. So I love that, Sam. Super simple, easy enough for a brand new person coming in to even ask those. So there was a lot at CEO Summit, a lot that was downloaded into our brains that we can't share, but I'm super excited about. But what was something that you heard at the CEO Summit that you're like, I'm going to apply this because I want to reach my goal and do something different? Did something stand out to you?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing, and I cannot remember her name, but it was the lady that we're listening to on Zoom. But she was basically speaking to us on the type of people that are actually interested in what we do and the ways to speak to them that is going to resonate with them instead of turning them off. So one of the key things was the age group. I had no idea like what that age group was, and it's that like 25 to Joel, you'll probably correct me, but what was it? 25 to 36. I have it written down. But that's like the key market for people to be targeting, right? The second one was the price point to join, and people are comfortable with that $99 price point. And guess what? It costs to join. It works right now, $99. Isn't that crazy? And the
Incredible,
last
right?
one, how does that work? And the last one was the amount of money that people are looking to make from network marketing. And here's where I went wrong for a long time. When I started making those big paychecks, guess what I was talking about? Those big paychecks. And guess what people are interested in. $500 a month, $500. So I'm really changing the wording on my TikToks. I'm changing the wording in my posts and in my stories and in my potential distributor conversations to cater to that type of person. So, and they want a side gig or they want to be entrepreneurs. That's the type of verbiage that people are looking to hear. So that was the biggest thing that hit home for me. And the thing about men being a really good statistic to network to. So I'm working on that as well.
That was kind of mind blowing. Like 250 to 499 is the sweet spot of like it's real. And I guess, when I look at things on the internet and social medias, I think too, when I see a lot of money is that a scam. And so that generation and a lot of people don't want to be scammed. So what is it that they can do that can be a little side gig or an entrepreneur? So those are key words. I hope you guys wrote those down. Like entrepreneur is such a good, powerful word to be using. Like I was kind of blown away by that. Honestly, I was like, I like to talk about a lot of money because I want to attract that. But I also know that that's not what I was looking for when I started. I was broke, you guys, a couple $100 and maybe $1,000. So right in that same kind of general area. So I love that part. I'm going to come back to you, Sam, after Jackie. So hold tight for a second. I knew you guys were going to go over, but are you guys okay with this? Give me a thumbs up. Like you're good taking nuts and notes. Okay. So here comes another firecracker. Jackie, can you unmute yourself too? Because this is another girl. Like I love her mind when we talk because she's so focused on what she wants, where she's going. She knows that she's the type of person that's going to do whatever it takes. And she's willing to, again, to share everything and do the right thing. So again, these girls have really good integrity and character and drive. Like I could list all of the things. But Jackie, I know she's from Canada. So I know there's some people on here from Canada. I am excited for you. I think Jackie was going to cry a little bit, but Jackie, are you excited for what's coming for the company, but then what's coming for Canada?
I'm so excited. When you asked me to be on this tonight, I almost said no because I'm like, I'm not one that can think before I talk. So I'm like, I really got to make sure that I don't say what I'm not supposed to. But yeah, to keep it really quick, like I didn't know what to expect going in there for our country. You guys know Health Canada can be a little, but there was many times where I quite literally had to pick my jaw up, like hearing what they're doing. And I just, I think anyone that's in Canada is going to be very happy when you see what is coming. And I feel just really lucky to be a part, of a company that clearly went above and beyond. Like I was not expecting half of it.
So lots of new products coming for Canada. I'll just say that you guys will be very excited. I was like, holy cow. In all of my years, I told Jackie this, I've never seen anything like that for the country for what's coming. So I'm super excited for that. I don't think I'll get in trouble for that because that's just sharing that you guys have stuff coming. I didn't tell you what it was.
They've already said that. So we're safe.
It's like, I didn't say anything. Yes, I will.
Yeah.
It's okay. Because I'm really excited. The other thing, you guys, is Jackie's had a really long, busy day. I wasn't going to ask her. I honestly thought that. I was like, I don't even want to ask her. But when I thought about like who I wanted on the Zoom to kick it off with me is you two literally do whatever it takes. And so I knew coming in, like, you guys just show up. It doesn't matter. You just show up. No excuses made. And if that's what you could take from this Zoom as well, you don't need to show up perfect. You just need to show up. You learn along the way. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. And knowing what's on the line, somebody's out there looking for that product or for a way to make money. There's somebody that's laying in bed right now praying for something, for someone to offer it to them or to just share it because they're scared and they don't need to. And so for me, I think about that. Like, I wish somebody would have been in my inbox sharing all of the things. Like, I would have been all over that. So Jackie, kind of the thing is, we know these bonuses are here. How are you going into this with a newbie or somebody that's looking at the promotions?
So, when I look at ranking up and earning these bonuses, it can get overwhelming when we look at it, especially as, a new distributor. But really what it comes down to is we're selling amazing products. We're talking about the opportunity that we have our hands on, and it's knowing that it's very abundant. Like you will never run out of people that want what we have. If you think of it that way, it's so easy for us to look at the next rank. Like, let's look at emeralds, and you have that chart out in front of you. Like, it's interesting hearing like the different, like we went diamond in 3 months, and I started this with 100 Facebook friends. I had done another company 30 days before this one and exhausted my whole network. So when we came in and went diamond in 90 days, it literally was from the ground up, but going like, I always like, I don't want to use the word obsessive with it, but like, I think that I'm just going to be honest. Like I was obsessed with it. I nothing could get, and like, this is going to freak some people out, but I think it's going to hit the right person. When you know why you're here and why you're in the game, you just have to know that nothing's going to take you out. And if I was running for these bonuses as a brand new distributor, it would be one, understanding that there's such a need for what we have. So spend no time telling yourself that there's not. Of course, you're going to hear no's. Of course, you're going to have people that say not right now, and they end up joining you later and all these things. But the end of the day is you have control over what you do. You don't have control over who buys. You don't have control over who joins. So it's doing the things that we teach, talking about the products, which don't overcomplicate it. Talk about the benefits. You could build to diamond literally just selling the 30-day drop. I can't tell you how happy I am about this pack for the US and Canada. One, because the price point's amazing. Like I mean, like there's nothing else there like that. You get 4 products for $125, $168. All you need to do is learn how to talk about the benefits, show yourself taking these products, talk about why we're in a business like this. Like Sam said, the $200 to $500, keep it very simple. But the only other key to this, where I feel like it's either going to catapult you forward to hitting these ranks and stacking them or not, is what's the word I'm looking for? Exposure. It's exposure. You can do all the right things, but feel stuck. And the only difference between you and someone that's getting the results is exposure. So how do you get exposure? It's growing your network in this business. How do you do that? Back in the day, it was getting into groups of like things that are of genuine interest to you, right? Getting into maybe like the group or the page of the store that you shop at, or locally in your town. Or, I remember when I started, Mike was driving trains. So I was in railway wife groups, and I just, my process isn't to like add people and then message them. My process was add a bunch of people, get them in my network, and be so consistent with what I do that eventually they ask me what I'm doing. But the other part of this, sorry, I'm just kind of going on a tangent. The last thing I'll say is focus less on being an it works, boss babe or whatever. And I'm only talking about the products in the business. You are your business. You are your brand. And so it's just like, it's sharing your life and sharing, there's different styles of it. It's giving value in some way, shape, or form. It could be what you're teaching people. It could be just your energy and you're funny. It could be the stuff that you share, but you find the connection. You're like, people are relating to you through what you're posting. They're getting to know, like, and trust you, and you're dripping in your products and the business so consistently. So when we came in, it was like, okay, get my network to 5,000 as quick as I can. That's like it takes what it takes. It's not, it was, like I'm going to add 20 people a day and I did that. So like your mindset has to be like shoot for the moon and land among the stars. I'm going to do it until I get there. So it's every single day I was doing things to grow my network. Some days it felt like you were doing it and you were taking 2 steps forward and 5 steps back. But it's the consistent persistency over time. Is that a word? Consistent, whatever. Anyways. And then the one last thing I'll say too is be willing to get out of your comfort zone. The best example that I can think of that this really like catapulted my business was, whenever Reels started coming out and TikToks, I remember thinking like, that's not me. Like I'm behind the computer kind of person. Like it just was really uncomfortable, but knowing that success leaves clues, like other people were getting results. Okay. So I started doing it and I did 192 videos that did nothing, right? How many people are quitting in their first 5 or their first 10 or their first 50 or their first month? Like statistically, most people. It was like 192 or 197 videos or whatever it was. I did one that blew up, changed my whole business, hit 1 million views. I enrolled a ton of people from it. It literally doubled my network. It impacted my business so much. And over the time that you do this, it's going to be, your business will be many series of that. And that's what I've just realized. So it's more focusing on like, not, I was having I should have wrote this down. Anyways, I'm going to butcher it. I was having a conversation today, and anyways, it's not going to make sense, but basically what he said was like, the people that survive are the people that don't, okay, this is not going to make sense. Okay, just like follow me. But the people that survive, and he was talking about not business, but anyways, I related it to business. It's the people that don't have the set expectation. Basically, they're the people that are resilient. The goal doesn't change. The goal doesn't change. The action might change. The journey might change. But at the end of the day, your goal is to go emerald. Your goal is to go diamond. You might need to like take a different path, or you might have to fall back a little and lean in a little bit here. But yeah, I would just be so focused on the daily habits, getting more exposure and staying so consistent with what you do, and understanding that the first time somebody sees you, it doesn't mean they're going to join. You know, maybe someone says no, but you've caught their attention. It's having the longevity mindset with everything you do, right? The host to post you put up, maybe you don't get a sale from it today, but what if that person that's in your network watches you for 6 months and then boom, they see the 30-day drop and their situation changes and now they have the money and now they're enrolling. Like that's the business. But people get so caught up in the emotion. Don't be emotional. Like keep it so focused on why you're here. And when you really ask yourself what will take you out of the game, like, is, you know, nothing, right? And then you just stay the course. I don't know if did I answer your question?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
awesome.
I think that's the different. Men and women think very differently. Men are not emotionally driven. They're just going to do the task. And I think that was a huge thing, is we do take it personal, way more personal. If Joel gets a no, he does not even flinch. And it's like, well, they weren't very nice about it to me. He's like, well, what does it do for you? Like, you know what I mean? So you're going to get it. Once you know that and you get through that, like it becomes a game. Like that's why you see all these apps with games. Like if you play it like a game, and not to be like bad, but that's what you do. You got to get to the goal. You need to go get your Princess Peach, the end of Mario. That tells you how old I am. But, you know, you have to keep continuing to do that. And I love that you shared that, because really, if you can go into your app, it has everything about the products. 30-day drop has 4 of our top selling products. And then if you want to go look at coffee, so Jackie's has the coffee, I believe, in their 30-day drop. But if you just know, and if you don't know, you need to go log in and look at the things. That was one thing as a brand new distributor. Nobody told me what to do. I didn't have anybody telling me or having Zooms or anything. I just knew I was sick and tired of being sick and tired and broke. And if I could sell some product and learn that chart, then I would make some money. And I needed to make money. And so I was willing to do what it takes. So go and learn and look in your app, read about a few of those products, and become an expert on just a couple things. You guys, I don't have them memorized every product of everything. It's just right now, that 30-day drop, people are always going to want weight loss right now at this time of the year. The goal is to create the conversation so that they'll maybe go look at the website so that you can help answer them so they become the customer. And if you get 4 customers or 5 customers, let's say, that ordered the 30-day drop, you're at a qualified leg. You do that again, you're an executive. You do that one more time. You're going up the ranks just by doing that simple task of, I'm going to sell 5 30-day easies or 30-day drops today. Like that's it. That should be 1 and go all the way to the top with that. But did you hear something, Jackie, at the CEO Summit that you were like, I heard this and I'm going to apply that and do something different with my business this year?
Yeah. So I have 2 things I want to share really quick. The first is part of in that day, we had the products explained like really well how they work together and the science behind it. And what I realized is, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I realized, man, I could get more green, and that like with our current products, dissect what these do better. And, you know, really like leading with what the products do instead of what you're selling, if that makes sense. People are going to move based on emotion. And when you can take, for example, let's talk about the gummies, right? How often, like we're talking about the gummies, we're talking about how they lower your BMI and they're good for weight loss, and if you want info on them, put gummies in the chat. That's awesome. But what if you went and you realized that the key ingredient, more so, is actually clinically proven to lower your cortisol levels? And well, why do we want to lower our cortisol levels? Well, because when you lower your cortisol levels, it's going to help with inflammation. It's going to help with, you know, not being so inflamed and lethargic. And like, okay, so now you know the list of benefits. Now you know who to speak to. And so when you know who to speak to, then you're kind of like trimming down the fat in what you're doing and finding you're solving a problem. Like money is exchanged when you give a service or you benefit someone. So you need to learn how to, I'm not saying this is what I'm saying to me. I had to learn how to talk more green about what our products actually do, the problem they solve for people, and what it's going to make people feel like whenever they take them. So someone that has, bloating, for someone that has, when you can, it's like telling a story, like, it's like not just saying I have this for this much money. It's, hey, like, taking people on a journey, like, even for flat in the USA. Okay, so I'm someone that, and this is like true story. Like, okay, guys, I turned 30, all of a sudden I look at bread and I'm bloating up, and all, that feeling, it's like your Lululemons are too tight and you feel that you don't even have to step on a scale because you look in the mirror and your face is inflamed. Like, does anybody else get that? And you're like, I shouldn't have ate that, but I don't care. And like, it's like, it's like you've gone so far past the point of caring that you're just like fully in it. That's like a feeling. People truly have that. What's the solution? You have a product that is literally clinically proven to help you get rid of that bloat, flatten your tummy. And then it's doing that consistently. People need to see it over and over again. So leading with the benefits. The second thing, I was kind of picking everyone's brain there, like, what are you doing? What's working? And I talked to, Amanda Busher, Christy Christensen, like the Latinas, like the whole team there. I'm like, what do you guys do to enroll customers? And one thing that I thought was really interesting was everyone said, I'm just getting back to the basics. Reels are great. Host to post is great. It works. Everything is a funnel. Your reels are a funnel. Your app is a funnel, but they're going back to the basics. What were the basics whenever we were building to diamonds years ago? It was be so consistent in your posting, morning, noon, and night. Show your face, show yourself taking the products, and message. And people, I feel, shy away from messaging because they're scared of rejection. They're scared of no's. They're like, I don't want to message. Let's say we're new, okay, 50 people to only get 4 yeses, because why? That sounds like a waste of time. Back in the day, like that was the only thing we knew, like, because we understood the method of messaging wasn't to get those 4 people on the spot. It's the seed that you've planted with all those people that are now, even if they say no, that algorithm's kicking in and now they're seeing your stuff more. And it was like the 90-day effect of something like that had, like, it's truly like planting a seed, attending to the seed, and then it being watered and growing. And the last thing that you get on it is the fruit on the tree. So it's almost the mindset of, back from when we were doing that. And I feel like some of us got away from it. And everything that I'm hearing is that's what we're doing. We're getting on live. We're sending out the messages. We're not scared of the no's. We're teaching our teams to do that. We're generating leads. We're following up. Like, that's the core 4 that our business has always been. We post, we message, we grow our network, we follow up. There's been different ways to do different things, but that's always been the core. And so I'm a firm believer that if you truly want something, you can't wait for it to come to you. The reels, those are going to make your business, passive when they go, and you're always going to be able to go back to the comments on them, and you're always going to be able to go back to your apps. But until they come to you, you have to go to them. And that was the mindset when we joined. It was like, I don't care what people say. I'm going to plant the seed. And I would rather someone read my message and say no and ignore me, but then know who I am and have me on their radar, than not even know me at all because I'm scared of them saying no. And so those are the 2 things I took from it. And it's just, sorry, one more thing, I'll be 30 seconds. Sorry. It's just also, it's not what I'm going to do, but it's just what I realized. I feel like we look at these people that are at the top of companies like this, and we just kind of compare ourselves, and we're like, man, I could never be like that, or they have it all together, or like they're this, and that's why I'm not. Just what I've realized, I mean, I feel like at every event is we're all just like people, and like they go through hard things, and they have their days, and like they have these setbacks, and like you may not see it all. But like the truth is the only difference between you and any of them is like literally nothing except the time, and they just haven't quit. Like, you don't ever hear about the people that quit. So the people you're inspired by, it's not that they didn't have these things that you're going through. It's just that they were like tough enough to stand up and go at it one more time. So that's what I learned.
Yeah, I love that. You guys are so incredible at just being real. And the same thing. If I looked at Sam and going, oh my God, she literally rips on her husband on reels so much. I honestly feel like I should just do that with Joel. Like, maybe that would be my thing. That's just not me, but that's the thing, is you get to attract whoever you want.
Sam, teach her your ways.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, not getting into the comparison game, just getting out there, doing the work, being consistent. Like, our business is easy if you're willing to just keep it simple. Don't overthink it. We get paid by customers and distributors, which leads to ranking up, which leads to the bonuses. So, don't you can be afraid. I don't want to say don't be afraid. I was scared to death. And I still sometimes think, oh man, they have it all together. I don't know if I should message them about my product. Like I could look at their Facebook or their Instagram and they don't need my product. I don't know that. So it's okay to be afraid, but it's not okay to not continue on to change your life. Like that's not being all in.
The successful person is the person who is afraid and does it anyways.
Mhm.
Because when they do it anyways, they realize that it wasn't as bad as it was when they first thought about it. And here's the thing, the first time that you do anything, just understand you are going to be bad. The 10th time that you do anything, you are going to be bad. It's not till the 100th time will you be a master at whatever it is you're doing. So until you get that 100th rep in,
Mhm.
you are going to be bad at it. And that's okay, because you can be bad all the way to triple diamond.
Yeah. You guys, there is so much that we can go over and we will be over the next few weeks. But what I don't want you to do is like, this is a lot of information and just keep it simple. Don't overthink it. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't take yourself out of the game. Stay committed. Have that passion. You get to create that excitement. We've got products that work. We've got clinical studies behind it. I love that. They will continue to only bring us products that have clinically proven ingredients. That I do know, was told. And I love that. You guys can stand strong behind that. We have new ways to get paid, bonuses paid out in 10 months. We never had it where customers can actually earn bonuses by just enrolling customers. We have 3 new distributor kits. We have new products that have been that continue to come out. They reinvent themselves to give you more that continues to push out to people that may not have been in your network, or it gives you a great follow-up. We continue to lead by being disruptors of the industry. We're a debt-free company. So why is this company so different? That is why. So if somebody says to me, I've done that before, I can tell you we are a different company. We are reinventing of where we're going, and they can come and be part of that. And if they were part of this before and they don't want to do the way that they did before, that is fine. They can come in knowing exactly what they want to do. And so I can stand here and say there's going to be people that make a lot of money this year. There's going to be people that come into the Millionaires Club. There's going to be people that come in and think, I just got started for a couple $100, and they see so much more because they're so excited about the products. And that's what I want for you guys. Be so passionate, excited about the product that the business just comes because you're excited to be able to share the product with them. And then they may want to do that. So lots and lots and lots of stuff to come. I'm excited for each of you to see, who is it that's going to take whatever it takes seriously and do the thing, and not just for a week or for a day. It's easy to say, I'm going to do whatever it takes for a day. It's not easy to say, I'm going to do whatever it takes for 15 years. So if you say, I want to be like the top 20 at the CEO summit, they did it year after year after year. There was one person that came in. There was only one that enrolled 40, I think it was 40 distributors, because there was a contest in 15 days. Brand new distributor at CEO Summit, because she did 40 distributors, never did network marketing in 15 days in December. So I know that there's people out there willing to become a part of this business and look for our products. So you have to be the differentiator of, I'm going to do whatever it takes, and to be excited about it and not feel like, oh, I'm on burnout. You have to have passion. You will never feel burned out when you make it about other people. So make it about other people, their health, their wealth, and that will ultimately lead to your success. So Sam, I was going to have you on, but any last minute, aha, this was what I needed. What do you got, Sam?
I think excuse me. The biggest thing that I took from where we were is legitimately anyone can be doing the things that we are doing. Like you just said with Ellie, like you don't need to know network marketing. You don't need to have a degree. You don't need to have gone to school. Listen to the things that the people that are doing what you want to be doing are telling you, because it's clearly working. Jackie, me, we had no idea how to do reels, how to send messages. But like I always tell my distributors, and I'm sure you guys have heard this, ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. So go out there, send those messages. Don't be afraid. Do those reps. My husband is on me all the time. He's like, you can't just wake up and not do the things. You have to wake up and do the things. No matter how you feel, no matter how tired you are, no matter how burnt out you are, no matter how like whatever, just wake up and do it, because that daily repetition is going to lead to the goal that you are trying to hit. So just get up and do it.
I love it. Jackie.
Let's go. That's all I got. It's
All
Monday,
right.
baby. All
Yeah.
right.
I love that. Thank you guys. We'll see you again next Monday. Let's make it a great week. Bye, girls. See you later.
See you guys.